Good morning. Thank you, Brother Pete. So I needed that this morning. Thank you. I hope everybody's doing well this morning.
Yes, amen.
Had a good week. I feel like I've been gone forever and ever. I've been gone a long time, feels like, with holidays and all that kind of good stuff. And I'm glad to be here this morning. This morning, I want to talk to you about worth and being worthy. And it's kind of weird, kind of different, strange. I don't know. I'm weird, different, strange. Anyway, and I think we have. I was thinking about my children, and I keep going back to this because I talked to Leah in the car, and I tell her, baby, I said, you just don't understand. I said, you've been taught so different your whole life. You don't understand what everybody else goes through. You don't get it, baby. And I'm glad she doesn't get it. And some people would call it like my generations before me felt like they had to do something. They had to work. They had to earn from God. Leah doesn't feel like she has to earn anything. And, some people would say that's a bad thing. The generation now on this earth feel that they're entitled to something that you ought to, they're just supposed to have it. They're not supposed to work for it. They're not supposed to, And I don't believe that's the way she feels, but she just knows with God that she doesn't have to do anything to earn anything from the Lord. That God just loves her just because. And there's nothing she has to do to earn that. And I think I will speak for myself. I have confused the fact that I am worthy and the fact that the Christ on the inside of me is worthy, and have separated those two things. So that I know that I am worthy because the Christ on the inside of me is worthy. But do you know that makes me worthy? Do you understand the difference? That makes me worthy. I am worthy. Me, Angie. That from the time we were born, we were worthy. Not because I go to church so many times a week, or not even because I believe I'm worthy. But I was worthy, why? Because I'm a child of God. Because I'm His. Because I believe, this is Angie. I believe that the breath that's on the inside of me is the life of God. And I believe the breath on the inside of every human is the life of God. That without God, these bodies would not function. They would not work. They would not live and breathe and move without God. Period. God is on the inside of every human. Whether they understand it, whether they believe it, guess what? He's there. And guess what? They're all worthy. We were all born worthy. We were all born to be the people God created us to be. Not because of anything that I did. I believe that we understand something when we know Him and we have a relationship with Him, and we can walk in that. The people who don't know Him and don't understand Him don't walk in that because they don't see it and understand it. We walk in it because we have a relationship with Him. Because we know Him. We know the Christ that's on the inside of us. But guess what? Me knowing Him doesn't make me more worthy than anyone else. Doesn't make me better than anybody else. Just helps me to understand. And hopefully, because I understand I walk in something greater in God because of that. And I think Angie, I'm going to speak for myself, that I didn't see myself as being worthy of anything. I didn't see Angie as being worthy of anything. I have to see that I say Christ is worthy, so I am worthy. But there's Pastor Randy, I don't even know where it started, but if you take water and you put tea in it, you can't get the tea out of it. You can't take the tea back out of the water. It's all together. I am Christ. I am Him in this earth. I am worthy. Angie, I think it's hard for me to articulate. It's in my brain, or it's actually in here, not in my brain, because if it was in my brain, I could articulate it better. But that I've made it two separate things. I've made it two separate things instead of being one. I'm one with Him, and because I am one with Him, there is nothing that doesn't belong to me. There is nothing that is not mine. There is nothing that I am not worthy of. Why? See, and some people would say, well, you're trying to say this. I'm not. I'm just trying for me to understand and realize that I am more than I ever thought I was. That I am greater than I ever thought I was. That I am more worthy, that I am more righteous, that I am more. Why? No, it's not because of me. It's because the Christ on the inside of me. But guess what? That is me. That is who I am. And I've separated that to the point that I feel like I have to earn something, or I have to do something, or I have to be a certain way, or I have to pray a certain way, or I have to live a certain way. Yes, I believe that I should, because if I'm living the Christ that's on the inside of me, I will do those things. But I don't have to be worthy of who God created me to be. And I think that's the separation that I see between me and my child. My kid she's never known that I have to do or be or act or whatever. I just have to be Leah. I could just be Leah, and guess what? I'm God's, and He's mine, and that's all there is. She doesn't understand why things aren't exactly the way God says they're supposed to be. They just are. Why? Because God said it. Because that's who I am. Because that's who God created me to be. There's no confusion in her. She doesn't have to fight the confusion that I have to fight. I don't need to separate myself from Christ. Don't need to make a separation, a distinction between me and Him. That is who I am. That is who I've been created to be. He taught, we are His hands and feet. Then who are we? We are Him. We are His flesh in this earth. We are the only way He enters into this earth is through us. That is who we are. Don't separate yourself from Him. That's where I've been for so long, is that I have limited myself and belittled myself and shrunk myself down because I am only human. That is all that I am. No, I'm not only human. I'm Christ. I am Him. I am God. I am His flesh that dwells in this earth. And that is so much bigger and greater than we could ever think or imagine. But for so long, that's what God, Angie, you need to quit. Stop. Get me out of a box. Get yourself out of the box. Stop putting yourself in the box. Stop shrinking yourself down. Stop saying you can't. Stop saying you aren't. Stop saying that you're not able, or you don't have the ability, or you're not anything. And that's anything that Christ has put on the inside of me. I am able. Amen. I have the ability. I am who He says I am. It's not just me wanting to be something that I'm not able to be. He showed me that in the last 2 years. Angie, don't limit yourself. Don't stop yourself. Don't say that you can't do that. I am in such a different place than I was 2 years ago because I didn't say, okay, I said, okay, God, this is what I want. Where are you taking me? Is it easy? No, it's not easy. Every day I have to say, God, did I make the right choice? What did I do? No, I'm just kidding. But every day I still lean on Him. Today is a new day. Today is a new day in Him. I want to look at, and this is such a familiar passage, such a familiar scripture, but I want to go to Luke chapter 15. Where did I go? This is the story of the prodigal son. And we all know how it happened. What happened? The prodigal son took from his father and he left. And he went and he spent everything and he finds himself eating with the hogs. And he's like, oh my goodness, what am I doing here? I want to go to verse 17. It says, and that brought him to his senses. He said, all those farm hands working for my father sit down to 3 meals a day, and here I am starving to death. I'm going back to my father, and I'll say to him, Father, I've sinned against God, and I've sinned against you. I don't deserve to be called your son. Take me on as a hired hand. He got right up and went home to his father. See, he didn't know his father either. He didn't know who he was. He didn't know who he had been created to be. Neither of these sons knew their father. Neither of these sons knew who they were. Neither of the 2 sons knew who they had been created to be. They did not know what they were worth. They did not understand that they were worthy just because they were his children. Just because they were his. For no other reason were they worthy, but just because they were his sons. Just because they belonged to him. And so when he was still a long way off, his father saw him and his heart pounded and he ran out, embraced him and kissed him. And the son started his speech. So he started to say, Father, I'm not worthy. I sinned against you and I sinned against God and I'm not worthy. Just let me eat out there with the farm hands. I don't even need to come to the big house. Just let me be out there. Just so I can eat 3 meals a day. That's all I want. Father, I've sinned against God. I've sinned before you. I don't deserve to be called your son ever again. But the father wasn't listening. He was calling to his servants, quick, bring a clean set of clothes and dress him. Put the family ring on his finger and sandals on his feet. Then get a prize-winning heifer and roast it. We're going to feast. We're going to have a wonderful time. My son is here, given up for dead and now alive, given up for lost and now found. And they began to have a wonderful time. His daddy wasn't hearing any of it. I'm not hearing any of that. I don't want to hear that. Why? You're mine. And you're going to have the best. Why? Because the best is mine, so the best is yours. God don't want to hear that. Why? Because he's in you. You're his. He created you. And the scriptures I read is he's the potter and I'm the clay, and he made me what I am. He made me what I am. I didn't make me. I didn't make Angie. I didn't make Angie what Angie is. He made me. He created me and put me here. And just because of that, hey, I'm worthy. I'm worthy to have a ring on my finger and have the best garments on my back and have the best heifer roasted for me and have a party. Not just today, every day. Every day. It says, all this time his older son was out in the field, and when the day work was done, he came in. And as he approached the house, he heard the music and dancing. Calling over one of the house boys, he asked what was going on, and he told him, your brother came home. Your father has ordered a feast, barbecued beef, because he has him home safe and sound. And the older brother stomped off in an angry sulk and refused to join in. He's angry because his brother has something that, guess what, has been his every single day. His brother has something today that he could have had any day he wanted. He could have had it at any time. But you know what he was worried about doing? He's worried about serving and working and earning it. He was worried about earning it. What can I do? He's out in the field working all day. I'm not saying we shouldn't be about doing our Father's business, but we need to know that we're working out of something, not working for something. I'm working out of being the kid of the Most High King. Being a king, being a priest, I'm working from that position. I'm not working trying to get somewhere or trying to earn something. I'm doing something out of a rest, out of a place of, I know who I am. And I know that I'm able and I'm capable and I have all I need to do what I need to do for God. His father came out and tried to talk to him, but he wasn't listening. The son said, look at how many years I've stayed here serving you, never giving one moment of grief. But have you ever thrown a party for me or for my friends? Then this son of yours that has thrown away your money on whores shows up and goes, and you go all out with a feast. He's mad. Saying, look what I've done. See, that's what I was taught. This is what I've done. No, I walk right and I spit white. I don't hang around with the wrong crowd. I'm this, I'm that. I deserve something. I do deserve something, but not because of that. Just because of who I am. Just because of who I am. He didn't deserve anything because he had served his father. He deserved something because he was his father's child. And he's mad. Look at him. He ain't done right. He ain't done what you told him to do. He ain't done nothing for you. And you did this for him. Why'd you do that? And then his father said, son, you don't understand. You're with me all the time, and everything that is mine is yours. You've been with me all the time, and everything that is mine is yours. All this has been yours all the time. Never, ever have you been in want or need. You could have had a party every day. We could have roasted a fatted calf every day for you. You wear a ring on your finger every day. There are sandals on your feet every day. The best robes on your back every day. But you're jealous over something that you already have. You're mad over something that already belongs to you. It's already yours. You already possess it. Why do we not see and understand who we are? Who we've been created to be? What belongs to me? That I am worthy of it because I'm His. That I am worthy to be the person that Christ created me to be. Lots of times I don't feel worthy of a lot of things. I don't feel worthy to stand here. I don't feel worthy to... There are lots of things but you know what? I am. I am. You are. Because of who you are. Just because of who you are. Not because of anything you've done. Not because of any of those things. But just because of who I am. And you know what? Because of my relationship with Him, I should understand that. Because of my relationship with Him, I should understand that. He's still scrubbing so much mess out of me. So much mess. That I am so thankful that my children don't have to worry about. That my kids aren't going to have to go through. Leah just thinks just because I'm Leah. Just because I'm Leah. And some people would be upset about that. Sometimes, she thinks just because she's Leah, she deserves a whole lot of things in this flesh. And I'm like, Leah, you know what? You got to work for some things. You need to do something, child. But in the spirit, I'm glad she understands that it's just because she's Leah. That it's just because she's Leah. And what does that mean? Leah means I'm God's kid. I'm His. I belong to Him. That's what that means. It doesn't mean, I think we try to make it, I try to make it so difficult. I try to make it so hard. There's got to be a reason. There's got to be a rhyme. There's got to be, because we're taught so much on this earth that you have to earn something. You got to do something to get something. You got to be something to have something. You got to know somebody. Guess what? I know somebody. I know somebody. I know the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords, and guess what? He's right here with me all the time. And He's part of who I am. He is who I am. There's no separating me from Him. And because of that, I am worthy of everything. Of everything. Of all of it. It all belongs to me. It's all mine. It's all mine. This life that I now live is not mine. It's His life to live. Is it simple? Is it easy? Are there not things that I go through? Of course. But I have everything I need to be on the other side of everything that I go through. I have everything. Why? Because of Him. Because He has everything. He has it all. So guess what? It's mine. It belongs to me. It is my possession. It is ours. There's not, we can't understand it. We can't fathom it. We can't understand why it would be mine. If I'm thinking about it here, I have to know it here. It has to be part of who I am. It has to be part of the life that's on the inside of me. To the point that there's no question, there's nothing that separates me from Him. I have to stop the separation. I have to stop saying, it's kind of like, I'm just a sinner saved by grace. That's not who I am. You know who I am? I'm God's. I'm a king and I'm a priest. And I am here by the grace of God. And I understand that and I know that, but I'm bigger than that. We have belittled ourselves. We have shrunk ourselves down. And as Pastor Randy says, we need to be arrogant about who we are, about the Christ that's on the inside of us. That is who I am. That is who I've been created to be in this earth. I need to be bold about that. I need to not let anything hold me back from that. Not let anything draw me back or push me down or tell me, no, that's not who you are. No, you can't have that. No, you can't be that. No, you can't go there. No, no, no. That should not be part of my vocabulary. Yes, yes, yes. I can. I am more than able. I am more than enough. I am victorious. I am a conqueror. I am a king. I am a priest. Those are the words that should come out of my mouth. In everything. You know why? Because I'm Angie. Because I'm His. Because He's my daddy. We need to see ourselves in such a different way. We need to see ourselves bigger, more able people because of who we are. Because you're Pete. Because that's who you are. That's who God created you to be. That's who He molded you into. And because of that, you are able and capable of being who God created you to be. Period. That is who you are. That is who we are. I allow, and I just is who I am. I allow things that are around me every single day to tell me you're not able. You're not capable. You are not enough. And when I look at those things, I ought to say, you don't tell me who I am, my daddy does. You don't tell me what I can do, my daddy does. Like Addison, tell Leah she's not my mama. You are not my daddy. You can't tell me who I am. You can't tell me what I can do. You can't tell me who I can be. You can't tell me where I can go. Because I can, because of whose I am. I am worthy. You are worthy because of whose you are. Not because of what you've done to earn it. Not because it's been yours every single day. It's always been yours. From the time you were born, for the time you cried that first cry, it's been yours. It's been part of who you are. It's been your possession. Don't allow anything to take it away from you. Don't allow anything to tell you you're not who you are. You're not who God created you to be. That you're not capable and able of everything He created you to do. You are worthy because of whose you are. Thank you.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. The girl spoke her heart. Her knees wouldn't knock it.